Hello everyone, welcome back. Now in this video tutorial, let's face over a new sensor that is ADC121C. It's a very common sensor used in electronics, as you can see. To gain more knowledge about this sensor, let's have a look over website controleverything.com, and here we have to search on for this particular sensor, and let's see what we got here in this particular sensor. And as you can see, there is a long list of sensors being used. Let's pick up the basic one. As you can see, ADC121. It's a one channel analog to digital converter sensor. These are some more prominent features which you are able to see on this particular screen, and also you can purchase this sensor from here. I will be interfacing the sensor ADC121C with a Raspberry Pi, and a Python code is required. And to get hands over the Python code, let's go to resource tab, and here comes the Python code as you can see on my screen. Now after that, we can get the code as required from this website. And you can also have the code from github.com, and you can download the code from the repository, that is Control Everything Community. Now what do we require is to have a look over the hardware connections we need for this video tutorial. Well, in the hardware setup for the connections, what do we require is this Raspberry Pi, which you are able to see on my screen, and these are the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi. Next, we require an I2C shield, which you can see, and it's available on the website controleverything.com. The real reason we are using this shield is to make easier connections with other I2C devices. So for that, gently place the I2C shield over the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi and make a connection. Next, we need to power up our Raspberry Pi, and for that we require a micro USB cable just like that, and gently insert it over here, the power jack. And for the internet connection, there are two options. First of all, this here is an Ethernet cable or a LAN cable. Now gently insert it over this Ethernet jack, and you are done with the connections part. Now for the other internet connection, we can also have a adapter, a wireless nano USB adapter just like that, and you can have on the USB port. Now what we require next is our sensor, that is ADC121C, and this here is a connecting cable. Now make sure that while making the connection, we have to make the connection of the ground terminal of the sensor to the ground wire of the cable, and similarly for the I2C shield, the same rule has to be applied. So we are done with all the connections. Now what do we require next is to have a look over the code. Let's have a look over the interfacing part now, and for that the first step is to log into github.com, and then we have to check for the repository, that is Control Everything Community. After getting it, we have to search on for the sensor, that is ADC121C021, which is the reference for 021. As you can see at the end, we have the Python code, but before that, let's have a look over the instructions we need to continue for fulfilling the code. Now as you can see, we have to download and install SMBus library on the Raspberry Pi, and this link will help us to get over with the installation process. And as you can see, we have the relevant examples, dependencies and commands, installation steps. Please do it carefully. Then we have to download the code onto the Raspberry Pi, and this command is to run the Python code. Note it down and do it carefully, and then we get back to the code as promised, and it's a .py extension file. Now in the code, first thing you notice that we have imported SMBus and time libraries, and we have the address of the sensor, that is 0x50. Now coming the writing section part, we are going to select the configuration lister 0x02, and the command we are going to send here is as 0x20, which comprises of automatic conversion mode enabled. And after that, we are going to read data back from the sensor from the address 0x00 for 2 bytes, that is the raw ADC MSB and LSB. Then we have the conversion of the data into 12 bits, which according to the guidelines and information provided in the datasheet for ADC121C021. At the very end of our code, we have the output data to be displayed onto the screen, which you can see as the raw value of the source is the digital value of the voltage input. Now what do we require next is to have a look over the working. Now let's have a look over the working environment, and for that we have to copy this entire code of the Python, and then we have to open up the terminal for the Raspberry Pi using an internet connection, and here we have to create a file. As you can see on my screen, it's .py extension file, and here we have to paste the entire code, and after that we have to save it. Now to run, this is the command exactly, and we have the raw value of the source, and it's almost 0 because there is nothing connected among the terminals of this sensor, but instead when I try to connect a AA battery of 1.5 volt source, as you can see, when I connect it and run the command, we can have the raw value of the source, that is 754, and when I run again and again and again, we have almost constant value because the battery is connected right now onto the terminals. So this is how the sensor works. Now let's have a look over the applications and the benefits of this sensor. The ADC121C and the family of ADC121C021 is a converter that is low power monolithic 12-bit analog to digital converter that operates from a 2.7 to 5.5 volt supply. The converter is based upon a successive approximation register architecture with an internal track and hold circuit that can handle input frequencies up to 11 MHz. The device features an I2C compatible serial interface that operates in all 3 speed modes, including high speed mode 3.4 MHz. Due to these good features, it is applicable in a lot of applications like system monitoring, peak detection, portable instruments, medical instruments, test equipment, automotive, and a lot more to mention. Well, you can have this sensor and you can purchase it from controleverything.com, and you can get the code from Resource tab. From this site, you can download the code as zip file. Also, you can get the code from github.com, and the repository there is Control Everything Community. In the end, I would like to make it clear that if you have any doubts regarding any part of this sensor or video, you can have your queries on controleverything.com, and you can post your comments on the community page on this website. For articles and blogs, you can have a look over on instructables.com, and to subscribe more video tutorials like this, you can have a look over our YouTube channel. In the end, I hope you enjoyed this video and had a good one yourself. Thanks a lot for watching.